Hi and welcome to C3STREAM Land. So today we are going to see simple operations that we can do with base 10 blocks. Operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication. So let's get started. Let's say if we have to add two simple numbers, 33 and 42. Addition is simply a collection of rods and blocks together. So let's start with blocks. So I'll just group the blocks together, and I have 5 blocks with me, and if I collect my rods together, I have 7 rods with me. So my answer is 75. Now this is very easy to understand, but what if I have, let's say I have a number 75 now, and let's say if I have to add 28 in it. Now I'll follow the same process. I will add my blocks together. When I add 5 and 8 together, this makes a collection of 13 blocks. 13 is a number bigger than 10, right? So this is getting too complicated. So anytime to simplify it, what I can do is I can simply make a collection of 10 blocks together, and I can always see this looks like a rod. So instead of using my 10 blocks, I just move them away and put one rod in it, and that will still be 13. Now this rod can be added in when I add my rods together. This rod is a visual representation of your carry forward. So this is how we can make children understand how exactly that 1 that we put on top of the number in tens place, where does that 1 come from or 2 comes from? It comes from a collection of the blocks or collection of the numbers that we did in one's place. When they exceed the number 10, then we can group 10 blocks and we can carry them forward to the next place, where we add them with rest of the rods. Now I have 7 plus 3, I have 10 rods. So my answer is 1, or as you can see here, I have 10 rods. So instead of having 10 rods, I can replace it with 1 flat, because if you remember from the last video, 10 rods is equal to 1 flat. So instead of having rods, I can simply have a flat, and now I can easily tell my answer. My answer is 1 flat and 3 blocks. So 1 for flat, that means 1 in hundreds place. As you can see, I don't have any rods, so 0 for tens place and 3 for ones place. So I'm just going to take a simple notepad here and write it. So my hundreds place, tens place and ones place, and I'll simply count them. I have 1 flat, I have 0 rods, and I have 3 blocks. So the number that I formed is 103 or 103. And that's how we can simply add two numbers together using Dienes blocks or base 10 blocks. Let's see how to subtract the numbers. Subtracting numbers with Dienes blocks is a little bit different than subtracting it from subtracting number is a little bit different than adding them together. So let's see, if I have 47 with me, this is number 47 that I'm trying to form here, and out of 47 I have to take away 15. So if you can see here, I'm just going to write my subtraction that I want to do. I have 47, and out of that I want to take away 15, and how much I will be left with. Let's do this using Dienes blocks. So let's focus on ones place. It says that out of 7 blocks, take away 5 blocks. So instead of adding anything further into it, I need to take away whatever is here. So I just take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and I'm left with 2 blocks. So my answer for ones place is 2. Now, out of 4 rods, I need to take away 1 rod. So I just simply take it away and I'm left with 3 rods. So my answer is 3 rods and 2 blocks, or 32. Now let's see what can we do. Now let's take away a few more numbers out of this 32. My number is 32, so 3 in 10's place, 2 in 1's place. I need to take away another 15 out of 32. Let's see what I'm left with. As you can see, I have 2 blocks and I have been asked to take 5 blocks out of this. It's just not possible for me because 2 is a smaller number than 5. I can't take 5 blocks away. So what do? I borrow this 1 rod and I just say to 10's place, can you just give me this 1 rod, and I just need to break it up a little because I need to borrow some stuff. So I replace my 1 rod. So I replace my 1 rod with 10 blocks. So here, as you can see, I take away this 1 rod and I replace it with with 10 blocks. So it's the reverse process. In addition, we collected 10 rods and we replaced them with rod, but in subtraction, we replace rod with blocks. And now my number is still 32. If I count all together, I still have 32 blocks. Now, out of 12, because now I have 12 blocks, not 2 blocks, it is very easy for me to take away 5. So now I just borrowed, if I have to show this on pen and paper, I just say out of 3, I just took or borrowed 1 rod. So now I am left with 2 rods, and instead of 2, now I have 12 blocks. Right? Now it is easy for me to take away 5 rods. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take it away and I'm left with 7 blocks. And now things have become very simple in terms of rod. Out of 2 rods, I've been asked to take 1 rod away, which is easy, and I'm left with 1 rod. So my answer is 17. And this is how we can visually explain subtraction, where we use a method of borrowing to children. And I hope this makes things visually easier for you teachers as well to make a lesson plan when you're teaching this lesson to your children. Happy exploring!